Hey, what's up, guys? Your boy AD back with yet another video. I decided to do one on my wrestling video game collection. Here's a quick overview. A lot of classics in there. A lot of classics. All right, let's get right into it. All right, guys, I'm back. Let's get this started. Gonna start off with kind of jump around a little bit, maybe between systems. But once I get to the SmackDown versus Raw series, we're gonna go in those orders of releases. So now we're gonna start with NES. Got Tag Team Wrestling. Most of these games I haven't played. Just seems like a generic wrestling game. Next we got a WWF game, WWF WrestleMania. Don't know how that one was. WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. Sounds like a lot of little kids, you know, fighting their little brothers and all that stuff back in those days. Having good old times on the NES. And then for the last NES game, we've got Nintendo Pro Wrestling. Look at those guys. Look like they're having fun. Next, we'll get into Super Nintendo. We've got WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. And we've got Super WrestleMania that is all marked up. And then we've got WWF Monday Night Raw. If you guys played any of these back in these days, you know, comment on which one you guys like better. Alright, I've got one Genesis game, WrestleMania the arcade game, and I also had it over there on, I believe it was Super Nintendo. Forgot already. Alright, next we'll get into the N64. I'll start with actually this, because this is actually one that I have a box for. WCW Mayhem. It's so nostalgic just actually seeing this box. Like I would, man, God, this just took me back to like 98. I'd much rather have these kind of boxes nowadays than the stuff that we have now. This is one of the ones I didn't play many wrestling games on 64, so any of these guys, just let me know what you guys played. Got WCW Backstage Assault. Sounds like it's just a game with backstage areas. WrestleMania 2000. Heard this one was pretty good. Hardcore ECW Revolution. I did not know until I bought this one a couple years ago that ECW even had a video game. That's pretty cool. And WWF No Mercy. WCW versus NWO World Tour. A lot of wrestling games back on the 64. WWF Warzone. WCW Nitro. WWF Attitude. Get it. And save the best for last, because this is the one that I played the hell out of when I was a kid. WCW NWO Revenge. To be honest, I don't even remember who I played with on this game. And as you guys know, I got into wrestling late, so I don't know why I even played this game, but I never owned it. My buddy owned it, but I used to play it. All right, now we'll get into the PlayStation. WrestleMania the arcade game. It's a greatest hit. Looks like the one I had on Genesis. Probably definitely is the same game. WWF SmackDown. I like how when you get into the PlayStation 2, SmackDown 2, when you get into the PlayStation 2 and Xbox era, how PlayStation 2 had SmackDown games and Xbox had Raw games. I always thought that was pretty cool. And WWF Attitude, I have this on 64 as well. Some of these games I did not mean to purchase on multiple systems. Now I have an actual list of what games I own, so I don't make that mistake again. Now we'll move on to the couple GameCube games. Legends of Wrestling. This one I believe is on PS2 and Xbox as well. Legends of Wrestling 2. Hold this like this, it's actually less awkward. WrestleMania 18. I like when they made the WrestleMania games. Those were pretty fun. WrestleMania 19. Same thing, guys. If you guys played any of these, let me know what you guys thought about them. Day of Reckoning. These games were actually pretty fun. I actually started these. This one's from 04. And I think the second one's from 05. So when I started playing these, it was actually around like 09. I was actually kind of tired of the SmackDown versus Raw series. And I had a GameCube at the time. So I purchased these games. And I actually enjoyed them. When we get to Xbox, WWE Raw 2. I never played this one. But I heard this game was terrible. Release date got pushed back. Stuff that was supposed to be in the game that was promised, that was they showed trailers of, was not in this video game. But I don't know. I want to say this is the last one they actually put on Xbox, because I know SmackDown vs. Raw wasn't on Xbox. This was probably one of the first wrestling games I started playing in 06 when I started playing wrestling games. It was, because I only had an Xbox at the time. And Xbox didn't have many wrestling games. And it was really fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this game. Actually, even playing back right now, it actually has some good graphics on it. But this one, I had actually got a PS2 and started playing this. This is my favorite wrestling game of all time. I love the career mode, how you could just challenge for any championship you wanted. It didn't matter. Just love this game. WWE, just bring it. SmackDown, just bring it. Don't know how this game was. Now we get into the SmackDown vs. Raw series. SmackDown vs. Raw, I guess this is where they started combining the games, so there were no more SmackDown games or no more Raw games. I never played this one. It's a pretty cool looking championship. I was trying to see what that was. Just create a championship. This was when I really got into the series. I got this one right before SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 came out. So it was towards the end of 06. Didn't have much money at the time. I was just a teenager, so I ended up getting this used. And then I was like 2 months before 07 came out. And so then 07 came out, and of course I couldn't afford it. But I went to a buddy's house. I think during Thanksgiving break, and played it, and it was so awesome. And I begged either my mom or my grandmother to help me get it, and they got it for me. And ever since that one, so SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, where they introduced ECW, this was a really good game. Ever since this game, I have bought every game on release day. Back before I had a job and a career, I would just save money throughout the year to make sure I got it on drop day. So starting with that 2008, that's the original one that I had. Anything else before is not original. So from now, unless I say it's not original, from now on it is original ones that I purchased at that time. This game is near and dear to me because this came out probably early October 2008, and this was the last video game that my grandmother bought for me, because she died in October. So that game means a lot to me. I know I said I was in the SmackDown vs. Raw series, but I included this in it because this came out the same year as that game, and it pretty much goes hand in hand with SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. It's actually a pretty cool game with all the characters. I didn't like the fighting system. It wasn't nothing like a SmackDown vs. Raw fighting system, but it was cool because it had a lot of legends. SmackDown vs. Raw 2010. This one was pretty good. I have no complaints about Any SmackDown versus Raw game, almost. 2011. It's really good. This was 2010, so this was my first year I was in the Army. So, spending my nights in the barracks just playing video games when I wasn't doing other things. That was actually the last SmackDown versus Raw, and then they went to WWE 12. It's definitely a different feel. I like how the WWE, there's only 2 of these that said WWE and a year on it. But they were pretty good. WWE 13. This was on PS3 because this is not my original. My original I let somebody borrow when I lived in Tennessee, and they did not return it. A couple years ago, I finally got I invested in a PS3. So I wanted a PS3 wrestling game, and I was missing this game, so I got it. This was the last game that said WWE. That was just WWE 13, because then 2K bought the series. WWE 2K14. It has Daniel Bryan on it because you can change out the cover for Daniel Bryan and The Rock. I had to figure that out for a second. So the first 2K game, and this was very disappointing for me because, as you know, the current gen consoles, the Xbox One and the PS4, came out in 2013, and WWE did not release a next gen game. So I got my PS4, and when I wanted to play wrestling, I had to go play my 360, which I wasn't too happy about it. I wanted to play my next gen console. So we get 2K15, the first next gen game. My boy John Cena on the cover. This was a game changer. Like I said, anytime you go from one generation console to the other, just the graphics themselves. 2K16, Austin 316. Thought that was pretty. They definitely got that cover right with that one. WWE 2K17, Brock Lesnar on the cover. This was right before his big push, building up his match at Survivor Series with Goldberg that year. WWE 2K18, the first year that I actually purchased the box edition. The 2K17 edition was, I believe it was 2K17 was NXT, and I didn't get it because I didn't like NXT. But the 2K18 edition had to get my boy Cena. Came with some other stuff that I don't have anymore. But I just thought that was pretty cool. Have you seen enough of Cena? Yeah, it came with all that stuff. So I thought this was celebrating 15 years of John Cena. Ruining people's lives, that they say. And this is one thing that came with it. Legit autograph of John Cena beating AJ Styles for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble 2017. And capturing championship number 16. And there's a piece from the actual ring canvas. So I thought that was pretty cool. We've got this year, the phenomenal WWE 2K19. Haven't played this game too much. Life's starting to catch up to me now. 2 kids now, so my time is busy trying to spend time with my kids and my wife, and now juggling work and everything. So I haven't gotten too much of a chance to play it. I'm still gonna buy them every year. I got this edition too. It was the Woo edition. I'm gonna buy these every year. They're pricey. I think they're like 150 or 130, but I just pay a little bit at a time until I pay it off. It came with all that stuff. Some of that stuff I don't have anymore. But I thought this was a really cool box. So I wonder, I can almost guarantee, WWE is pretty predictable, that the cover for next year is going to be women. It also came with this Hall of Fame ring, which I thought was pretty cool. And at first I thought the year was commemorating Ric Flair's, and I thought I had a typo because it's supposed to say 2008, but it's just the number of the ring because they didn't make that much, and then his signature embedded in there. This one's pretty cool. This would have been cooler if it was signed, but that plaque came with it. And then that's an actual, they say that's an actual piece of that robe. So I don't know if all of them have this actual in there. Maybe not, because they had a lot of copies and to pull that little piece off the robe. So maybe different people have different ones. I don't know. If you have a different one, comment down below. And just a couple of random ones. TNA Impact. I actually should have it in here because I don't have the case. Yeah, I have a PS2 and an Xbox 360 version. Can't find an Xbox 360 case. This game was pretty good. It could have been better. I think if they had continued it, the series, they could have gone somewhere with it. But playing the X Division matches and stuff was pretty fun. Showdown, Legends of Wrestling. Guess this goes along with the GameCube games I have for Legends of Wrestling. I haven't played this. Terrible box. Terrible. Somebody got hungry and ate that. Finished a feud. It looks like feuds that were happening with Legends, and you finished them. That's pretty cool. And then I saw this one. Like I said, I want to get wrestling games on my PS3, and I didn't know Lucha Libre had a wrestling game. This was from 2010. I didn't even know back in those days. I bought it probably 6 months ago, and I played it for a little bit, and it was pretty cool. But like I said, I just don't have time anymore. So yeah, guys, that is all of my wrestling games. Your boy AD back, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it took you down memory lane. Maybe some of that stuff was nostalgic. Comment below, what you used to play back in the day and what your favorite wrestling game is, favorite wrestling moments in wrestling games, all that good stuff. I plan on one day having all wrestling games. It sounds kind of impossible, but it's actually not that many. I think it's around 100 or more. I think I'm almost at halfway. But I have to keep a running list, so make sure I don't buy too many duplicates, man. But yeah, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting VWO. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all have a good night.